Cup season is underway, and you know what that means? That means that you get the first Wednesday, and you know what that means? That's when NASCAR goes in there and puts people in the penalty box, and they did it today. That and more coming up. Dirty Air Short with Daytona 500 at the top of the mind. Stick around. It's up next. It's a great American race. We all kind of clamber in. We all gather in. It's the start of the NASCAR season. It's a week that we all just love to be a part of. And it was called Speed Weeks in the past. I think now we can call it Speed Week because it is what it is. Things have changed. The pandemic changed a lot of things. And I, for one, like the way that Speed Week has come to be. I like condensed schedules. I like the way that you do this. I like the lack of practice. But again, I think I'm in the minority right there. We do get the Great American Race. You have the ARCA race. You have the trucks. You have the Xfinity. They all get out there and they do what they do. Great stories. Butterbean Queen with the win right there. People are all over Amber Balkan. Kind of take it easy on her. Come on, man. It's one of those things where a lot of people are pissed off at her. But you know what? There's a lot of dudes that have done the same thing and that have been in rides in a similar fashion. So come on, let's kind of tap the brakes on that just a little bit. Trucks, again, don't disappoint. Great race right there. Xfinity, good race. You don't expect any different. The Xfinity car is the best racing car that you're going to find in these major NASCAR series right now. Then you have Daytona. And you have everything that you think that you're going to have with Daytona in February, including weather. Rain delay. Then you get off and you get racing. William Byron wins again. And you had different stories in that race. You had Corey LaJoie. That was a factor at the end of that, in one of those teams that put itself together at the very end and managed to get into this race and get competitive. He'll be in Atlanta again. And I think that this week in Atlanta is going to be just another great example of these bigger racetracks, how they provide great storylines for us to all talk about all week. How about Jimmy J? How about my man Jimmy Johnson? Comes home to third. Had a debate with somebody during the week. It's like Jimmy Johnson's car was so slow, he couldn't even keep up. Well, I don't care, man. This is what I look at. It's the official NASCAR report post-race as to the standings, the results. And Jimmy Johnson got third. When have you been third, friends, in a NASCAR Cup Series race? I don't care how you did it. I don't care how you got there. Legacy. What a story, man. Legacy able to pull themselves in there. You got Jimmy in third. You got John Hunter Nemechek able to run in fifth. Eric Jones with a beat-up race car finishes 12th. To me, the best story of the Daytona 500 of race day was that. They don't have the JGR support. They don't have the TRD stuff. They don't have any of that, and yet they find a way with new leadership and new technology. They're spending a lot of money, so it's one of those things where I think that Legacy Motor Club has figured out that with the skin that they have in this game, because they have a lot of it in there and they have a lot of money, where Jimmy Johnson has asserted leadership of this, they're going to do everything that they can to be successful. And I'll take third, fifth, and 12th. Pretty damn good for that team to get this thing started off. Willie B wins again. We can talk about the finish. We can talk about the controversies about how the race ends. I totally think that on Thursday, it was a situation where Eric Jones should have won that 125, 150, whatever it's called. Even Austin Cindric. When you have a guy that is declared the winner where he's even like, he didn't say in so many words, but when you have somebody that says, I don't really think I'm the winner, that tells you about that system. Do you race back to the line? There's yeses and nos. I think you should. It's a lot of back and forth, depending where the situation happens. But more often than not, when you have this in NASCAR, and I say race back to the line, the incident has happened. Everybody who's going to get through this has gotten through it already at that point. Safety personnel, the wreck has happened. The backside of the track is open. They can make their way over there. Formula One does it. I hate to hold Formula One into the bar right here of how to do different things, but when you have an incident on the track, they seem to be able to find a way. Just let them race to the line. I've been guilty of saying, get rid of pit road. Get rid of the pit road speeding penalty. And a lot of my buddies that work on these cars and that wrench on these and they're over the wall guys, they have convinced me differently. They're like, get your fat ass out here and talk about no speed limit. So I've kind of softened up on that just a little bit. Let them race to the line. Great call by NASCAR. Was it a make good call? Probably. For the outcry that we had on Thursday, it probably was. It probably was. But bottom line is they made the call and we had a good finish. And Willie B wins over Tyler Reddick and Jimmy Johnson. Did I say Jimmy Johnson got third? Yeah, he did. And John Hunter Nemechek? Yeah. Good job, Legacy. So Wednesday, here we are, hump day. Most people call it hump day, just another day of the week. Getting ready for Atlanta. But we all know that's when NASCAR goes in. That's when the penalties come out. And boy, oh boy, did it hit. Chase Briscoe in the 19 car. Great finish for him in the debut. Car had a lot of speed. And he's gonna go ahead and keep that great fourth place finish in between the legacy cars that I've been talking about. But going to be without his main man. Going to be without his main man, James Small, here for a little bit of time. Going in there. Overall, the penalty there. Overall assembled vehicle. They go in with a single source part, which in this case apparently was something that had to do with the spoiler. Went in and made a modification. A lot of people say you go in there and you start messing with stuff, you should win. No, man, this is speedway racing. But the whole thing is the way this car's put together, the way these parts are put together, you can't go in there and jack around with them. You absolutely cannot touch with them. They're called single source for a reason because they have a single source. And when it comes to spoilers, when it comes to whatever, you absolutely cannot adapt the intended use of it. And apparently, that's what happened on the JGR number 19 car, Chase Briscoe. James Small's going to have a little bit of time off, and the 19 team's going to get to go to Atlanta. They're going to get to go to COTA and beyond and be without their leader. I mean, they may win Atlanta. Atlanta is that kind of racetrack now to where, James Small's not going to be there. James Small, or let me rephrase that. James Small is not going to be in his role, but with the speed that car showed, they may very well not even miss him. That is to be determined and to be found out. But first Wednesday in, and more often than not, it's like waiting around for Wednesday. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see how the gauntlet is going to drop. And that's what NASCAR does. They absolutely do not pull any punches. The intent of this race car, and that's the way that it is right now. Hey, and how about that? 1 for 1. James Small getting thrown out in the first one. There you go. They say that this guy is extremely fierce, extremely intense. Well, when you're really, really intense, sometimes you do things to be intense. And apparently that's what happened. And he got caught and he got thrown out. We'll see him in 4 weeks. On to Atlanta, guys. Can't wait for that one. Dirty Air Shorts, man. We're going to be doing these all year, breaking into your social media feed with my thoughts on what we just saw. You guys enjoy the rest of the week. And don't blink, because depending on what happens here, there's an appeal. I don't know if that's going to be done this week. I doubt it. But you'll get more of this content. Keep sticking around. It's Dirty Air Short. You guys have a good week.